Well, hello, Werner. Thanks for
Hi.
joining me on this call. It's my great honor to share with everybody a story with my first ever client, actually. First people who recognized my expertise and like what I can offer to the world and actually how I can help somebody who comes to Croatia and deals with some bureaucracy stuff. And thanks to you, actually, this is what I'm working now, a full-time job. I would like you to introduce a little bit yourself, like how you came to Croatia and what initially inspired you to invest here. And actually, you then first purchased a house, and that was actually our first cooperation. If you can explain.
Yeah. Hi, Irena. Thanks for being here and to give you a brief spot on me first. Yeah, I'm a little bit older than 60 now. I'm from Germany and have family. Long time we spent family with our kids in the northern parts of Germany, and 1 year in 2011, I think it was, we decided to get with the whole family holidays first time to Croatia. And due to some circumstances, we didn't get our house at the coast, but instead we found ourselves back somewhere in the middle of nowhere called, no, it's not really Java, it was,
Yes.
what? Ježen, not Ježenice, yeah. Ježen, sorry. You see, I wasn't there a long time now. Too long, anyway. Yeah, and that was when we met your parents and your family first, yeah. And that's how we know each other, how we start to get in contact anyway, yeah.
Yeah,
And
because you
for my
came there.
family,
You
yeah,
came there and you spent few
we spent a
vacations.
few weeks of holidays at your family's house and our first really contact and experience with Croatia. And we loved that spot. We loved the silence, the people. Everybody was open and friendly. And for us, especially with the little kids, we had those years. Yeah, it was totally great. Yeah, because it was not that mass tourism. For me, I'm not a fan of mass tourism. I like to share company with other people, but as well I want to have the choice if I want to have it simple or if I want to have it quiet. I like to have those spots, and that was one big reason for me as well, for my whole family. We decided not to go to the coast, but instead stay in the Midlands of Croatia. We tried whenever it was possible to make another holiday in Ježen, in Croatia, in a small village next to Pazin.
Yeah.
And we really enjoyed it. And during that time, we got some kind of relationship, especially to your brother as well, to you,
Yes.
and to our whole family. And we started to become a little bit famous of Croatia, I would like to say. Yeah, especially of the way of living there and of most of the people we met. Yeah, because as I already mentioned, it's mostly a little bit easy. No,
Yeah.
not too hectical, not too pressed. Everything. It's not just the way that we like to live. So
Actually, the
yeah,
perfect
uh,
vacation spot from the all the life that you have in Germany, with work and all the like regular day-to-day
yeah, sure.
activities. Of course, you want it somewhere where you can really relax. And through my brother, actually, you find that property that you in the end
Yeah,
purchased.
during that the years relationship, especially to Nicola, your brother, get closer. And I think it was back in 16 when he took as well some times of holidays while we were there, and we shared, I guess, 1 week together. And he showed us all his favorite places around Pazin and Istra as well. We showed him those places we, as tourists or foreigners, have already found, and spotted out for us. And so we shared our thoughts and ideas. And during that week, he showed us as well lots of locations of old houses and flats. Yeah, because as you already surely know, your brother was working as a geometrics.
Yes,
He knew
surveyor. He's
all
a
these
surveyor.
stuff about who is going to sell. I don't really remember what actual point was. We were talking about, at some point, we were talking about this house is to sell. Here you can buy some land. There is somebody who wants to sell his house or his ruin, whatever. And so, yeah, we saw different spots. And during these days, we also found that, found, so yeah, I don't know a better word.
And Nicola showed you that place
Yeah,
in near Pazin.
in Rijavac, this is a small part down on the downside of Pazin. Yeah, and we had the opportunity to meet those people living in that house. We shared some sentences, some words, saw the house, and yeah, and then we walk on. That's it. So
Yeah.
we saw lots of another spots and areas these days, and yeah, one evening back in your parents' house, in our holiday flat. We're talking with Nicola, and already my wife and me, we have thought back about all these spots we have seen, about the emotions with being in Croatia, with spending time with you, with the other people around, and with, I would say, starting friendships. And we could imagine perhaps to share more time with Istra, with Croatia, and especially
Hmm.
with all you people there.
Yeah.
So that was when the idea came up, perhaps to buy something down there in Croatia.
Hmm.
During that path, we tried to figure out what are the rules, what are the regulations, what is necessary to do, and is it already too effort for us at all? Yeah.
And
First, we were trying to figuring out
uh-huh.
who can help us anyway, yeah? And so we started to chat with you, with those people we already called our friends in Croatia, and try to figure out if there might be somebody able to help us. And first, we found a contact. Somebody knew somebody, like it is always, and we got to a girl from somewhere from the coast, and she was telling us first for small money, like it mostly was in these days, yeah, that we as foreigners aren't allowed to buy Greenland at all. So, and that was our first step back, because we thought it would be very easy to buy something if you really would like that, yeah.
Yeah, the
But
problematic with that parcel specific that you want to pay, that you want to bought, was that it still is actually, because it's very near the river. It's a flood considered area and it's agricultural land. Although it does have the house there, which is built before 1968, it was still considered as agricultural land, and
that's it.
therefore it can
Yeah,
never be actually like a building ground. So you, as a foreigner at that time, it was 2016.
yeah.
So you
We weren't allowed to buy Greenland agricultural land in
yes.
Croatia. And the first opportunity they offered us was just to buy that house without anything around. So we have to trespass somebody else's ground to get to our house. No spot for parking, no spot for building up a fireplace or whatever. And that was no,
No,
that's not what you were
that
looking
was
for,
no,
yeah?
no.
No, 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 no. Doing any bureaucratism, figuring out about rules and regulation and stuff in Croatia as a foreigner, it was nearly impossible for me.
It was a little bit. So you felt your, your feelings about it were like probably frightened or confused.
Helpless. I think helpless comes on the nearest to it.
The nearest.
My wife and me, we already had the strong wish to buy this house, especially this house, yeah,
Yeah.
where we have been just for one time,
Yeah.
less than a quarter of an hour, yeah.
It was
We
love
met
at first sight. Yeah, because you
yeah,
also have a big dog, so it had a garden and it was
yeah,
near the
nothing
town, five
around
minutes
instead
walk.
of Greenland, and and on the other side, going by feet, it's not less than 10 minutes to go up to the town. That's great. Yes, we are out in the green, we're really silent, and nevertheless next to all the comfort a town can give you from doctors or supermarkets and everything else. Yeah,
Mm.
bars and restaurants and whatever you like. And the old house had its own charm. So I think my wife and me, we really figured out that we liked it and it was affordable for us.
Yes.
So now we were at that point that we really, really stuck in the bureaucratism.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was
Because the
a
next step, due to the problem which we already mentioned, it was agricultural land. The only way to purchase it was to open a company.
yep.
Yeah,
So
that
the
was the
idea
only
was
solution.
that we as foreigners open up a company in Croatia, and this company then would officially sell the house because
Buy the house.
buy the house, sorry,
Yeah.
due to the rights, then the company is owner of the house, and the company is a Croatian company. Therefore, it is allowed to buy instead of us, the foreigners. And we, my wife and me, we would help be the owners of the company.
Yeah.
That was possible due to the right. And to figure all this stuff out, we really need already help from insiders and from lawyers. And as you already mentioned, it was a lucky point that the girl living in that house together with other people, she was working as a lawyer, especially for these kind of rights. And as we don't felt much
Confidence.
we weren't afraid of being robbed off. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it. We had
You felt
trust in
confident.
those people.
Yeah.
That we want to buy their house anyway. We trusted them that they won't rip us off totally. And now we needed somebody who is able to do all that translation, getting in contact with court, with to help us with an
Public
OEP,
notary. OIB.
with notary, with all this stuff. And we were we were considering who to ask, who could help us. And Ingrid stated it would be best that we also would have for that company some kind of procurist, somebody living in Croatia, being Croatian best, to lead the company, to get in contact with financial offices and all this stuff which is necessary if you run a company. So that was the second part we were looking for. Somebody who could help us and somebody who perhaps could be those one, to be procurist in our company later. And my wife and me, we were first thinking about asking Nicola, but it's hard to explain. It's a
He's a
long time ago,
surveyor.
and it's a matter of emotion and your siblings. So
Yes.
it's not we were emotional. We were much closer to Nicola. In my opinion, especially you as young mother, you were more reliable. We expected you to be more courageous. And stay in a topic until it is finished, yeah, and do it that way. It is necessary to bring it to a final end, yeah.
And I actually had experience because I was doing in the company's finances and administration, and you knew that. So
yeah,
that was
so in that time, at that point, we decided, come on, let's ask Irena if she would be willing to help us, to join us in all these process, and perhaps, if time comes, to be as well our procurista. Yeah,
which I ended up being, yes.
I think that was the time, Irena, when we started to share ideas and thoughts about buying this house by running up a company.
Yeah. And then it was funny because you just first, I think it was May, when you just mentioned it on May when you were on vacation, you just mentioned it like, we are thinking about buying a house. So you were usually hanging out with my brother, and in one, I don't know, it was some dinner party, and I was just there, and you mentioned it like, okay, yeah, we are considering. We were discussing about the options. Yeah. And that was it. And then the next time you came, I think it was August.
It was August, and it was already nailed in. Because
and then you just came to me, Irena, we are buying a house. And I was like,
we have to build up a company now, and we need your help. You must help us. Yeah, because when we spotted that house in May, Ingrid and Goran were already trying to sell it back in Germany. We got some correspondence from them that they need our statement, if they want to buy it or not, because they had somebody else who's interested in that, no matter if it's true or not. But in the end, my wife and me, we made up our decision and said, okay, we buy that house. Okay. Yeah. So we agreed with Goran and Ingrid that we will come back to Croatia in August 2016, pay some money in advance, cash to them, and build up the company. Then and together with the company, then we will buy the house. of
But I
all the
didn't know
official
about
part.
that. I didn't know about that. For me, it was a shock
Nobody
because you were
even knew it.
there just two
Not even your
weeks.
brother at that time.
Yeah, but he didn't mention. And you were there for 2 weeks, I think. You planned the vacation in August. And actually, you came to me, okay, we need to open a company and buy this house and transfer the money and do all the contracts. And I was like,
Yeah,
what?
and it was 3 weeks. We had
3 weeks
3 weeks time for all that.
for
I'm
all
sure
that.
it can't be that complicated.
But it wasn't because we were running like crazy from one office to another. I remember I was
Ah,
working at that time in one company, and I remember every single lunch break that I had. I was actually going, it was 15-minute drive. I was actually running to Pazin to meet with you to do some stuff. I don't know, open OIF. Then the next time we were, I don't know, nailing down the contract. Then the
yeah,
notary.
going to notary, making pre-contract and all this
Yes.
stuff. Yeah, doing translations and opening up accounts, private
Yes.
account, a company account, all this stuff which is necessary. And in that time, it was something like you get in, you had to pick a number, and then you had to line in and wait in your
Yes.
queue until your number is called. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when we came to perhaps to the bank to open up a company account, we got this number.
Yeah.
Let me guess, 15 minutes later, it was to us to come to the counter and tell what we want. Yeah, we want to open up an account for a company. It's not for you yourself, it's for a company. So, can you state that this company is already existing? No, we are just building up the company.
Yeah.
So the problems start again. It was coming, going, always
Yes.
waiting. I never had so much coffee breaks like that. It was really ridiculous.
But we'd manage
Time was
it.
running.
Yeah, but we managed it. Everything was set up. I think the final transfer of the money we did when you were in Germany, something like this. But
Yeah,
uh,
in the end, it took us nearly 4 weeks. We spent some, yeah, in my as far as I remember it, we stayed longer for a few days, and there was this catalog, and we had to choose from the catalog what we will do. And so we said we don't know what we will do. Yeah,
yeah, I did that choice for
the
you.
only reason is we want to buy that house, but perhaps we don't know what will be in future. Yeah, let's get permission to do whatever we want. So we choose all,
Yeah.
and
Actually,
with
I
that,
did the choice, and
yeah,
when the notary, actually we had to have a professional translator.
yeah,
For everybody, just to know that at the public notary you need to have a official court translator to do all of that, because you don't speak Croatian, and I'm not allowed just to speak my maybe this broken English to translate all of this,
yeah.
professional stuff. And when she was explaining to you in German what we were, what are all the activities that I put on the list, you were laughing so much. Like, Irena, what did you do? Like, we put,
Yeah,
because we
and when
also didn't know each other very
yeah,
well. And so I didn't know. I wanted to be clear, like, okay, whatever comes to their mind, they are free
they
to
can
do
do
it
it.
in this
Yeah,
company. Okay, not oil,
no
from the ground. I don't know. It was not
no
like diamonds,
prostitution,
no
no
electrician,
weapons.
no weapons, no electrician production or
Yeah, yeah.
something like this. We
But besides
excluded
that,
it,
we could do anything,
but it was most
everything.
of it.
Yeah, it was really, really, really funny. So, yeah, to give you now, look, it's more than 10 years ago now. Yeah,
Yeah,
today it's much fun to think about that.
yeah,
We had really, really good reason to laugh. We had lots of laughter.
yes,
Really had a good time. But in that time, back in 2016, I felt totally different. It was
yeah.
stressful, was often enough totally ununderstandable for me. I didn't expect it, this big mass of bureaucracy, this huge amount of waiting time for everything. Yeah? You could call somebody and say, I need something being stated by the public attorney.
Notary.
Yeah, no problem. Come, I'm here. So you came, and yeah, other people did the same. You had to wait,
Yes,
and this time time was running and running and running and running without any result at the end of the day.
yes,
And that was somehow really frustrating.
yeah.
I didn't expect it that stressful.
But it still is. I have to admit, it's not big of a difference. Even now, if you open a company and you need to go through all that stuff,
Yeah,
as
bureaucracy
more or less,
is not
yes,
less, it's more meanwhile, yeah?
yeah,
Everything has to be stated double or triple now.
they're not connected.
Yeah.
But now it's a bit easier for you as a EU citizen. With the third country citizens, then it's a little bit of a
Yeah.
problem to open a bank account as well. But now, when you're EU citizen, everything goes much more smoothly.
Yeah, but allow me question, Irena, when you are talking about this stuff today, also with already 10 years experience you now have, um, uh, what is your aim? If you have the choice, would you prefer to work for EU citizens, or is it not that big different if it's not a
No,
non-EU?
no, it's not a big difference. No, when it comes to real estate and opening companies, there are some tweaks what EU citizen can. And for example, now you are allowed to buy agricultural land.
Yeah,
Since the July last year, 2024, you are allowed. So it's a much smoother process, no problem at all. But for the third country citizens, it's still a bit complex. It depends also where they are coming from. So this is also they are
much more
because
stuff to prove.
Croatia has some contracts with some of these countries, for example
Yeah,
with Australia, because there are a lot of people who went to live in Australia after the Second World War.
yeah.
My uncle is there, and there are many, they have some connections with Croatia, some relatives, and then it's a much smoother process. But when you come from, for example, I had a client who is from Togo, from Africa, and for him to get a house here, it would require to go through the office in Zagreb, this Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and consulate and many other things. It takes public notary told us that it takes few months for them just to approve that he can do it. It's not even 100% that they will approve it, because it's very,
It's just to start the process, to
yes.
prove that he is who is said to be.
Yes, although he actually lives in Denmark, he has a salary there, he's high educated person, but his nationality is from Togo, and
Yeah,
this makes all the difference.
yeah.
So, although he lives for 10 years in Denmark, he
If he would manage to get the Danish nationality, it would be very easy
everything
again.
different.
Yeah,
Yes. Luckily he
but to
was married
stay
to
what you
Croatian
are,
lady. He is still married
yeah,
to Croatian lady, and they managed to actually get a house only on her name, so they can avoid all of that nuances. And well, he has enough trust in her that it's okay even like that.
that's the
Although
way it is. Yeah,
they wanted to have it half and half at first.
yeah.
But then public notary told us, like, okay, it's a lot
We
more
can try
complex.
it, but it will take years and cost a lot of money and lots of
Yes.
nerve, I think.
A lot of time, a lot of money. They wanted to have a house now. They
Mm.
had money already prepared and everything. And so it was also a learning curve for me. Yeah. So it's every project. It's different.
Hmm.
So but it's something that's it's challenging to me. Actually, so I like it. I like to solve the problems, and I like when people are happy at the end, like you were. Like now, for almost 10
Yeah,
years, you.
what really important for me is that I have trust in the spoken word. And if I say I do something, I do it until it's finished. And that is my expectation to other people as well. And that is something which is very, very important for me. Then when you tell me I will take care of it, I will do that, that I don't have to have an eye on it all the time and
Mhm.
peek around and get new statements and follow-ups and all this stuff. For what? We have an
Yes.
agreement. You say you do it.
Yeah.
Ready. I'm out.
Yeah.
That's the way I like it, and that is so much easier with you, and something I'm really happy for.
Yeah.
In all these years, it was seldom, really seldom enough that we have to call again and try to fix something. Never ever. It was something that from third party, something occurred which we didn't thought about before. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Actually,
that's something which is really helpful for us. Yeah,
yeah.
takes all away the stress and the uncertainty.
Yeah, to have
It's
a
great.
person on ground who is there,
Yeah,
like your ears, your eyes, and when you were doing the renovation of the bathrooms, when you had some, now we are solving the sewage problem, connection to the
yeah, all
public
this stuff.
sewage.
Yeah, I don't have to I don't have to deal with local authorities. I don't have to deal with the people doing the work. The crafts people.
They don't
Yeah,
speak English.
often enough they also have only rudimentary English like I have. Yeah? And so it's hard to explain. Yeah, and for us, you know the location, you know us. We know each other for almost 15 years now.
Da.
What a long time! Unbelievable, isn't
I
it?
also couldn't believe. Yeah,
So for us, it's perfect. It's really perfect. In my opinion, when we started with that, huh, in 2016, we paid a little money. For us, it wasn't much for all this service you did for us,
yeah.
because we don't had to care with any problems with any stress that could occur, that will occur when you are dealing with a house and a company. We had to make tax statements. Huh? What's that? I don't mind. Your part. Take care. Okay. So that's great. That's totally great. And if you're not really well known with the language and the bureaucracy, you can't do that.
Yeah.
And your the biggest luck for us, in my opinion, is that you seem to know everybody. For whatever might come, you know somebody, at least who knows somebody.
Yes.
And that's great. That's totally great.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, when you know
It's much
somebody.
easier if you know somebody, if you can speak with somebody. For me, it's much easier than going to internet, and yeah, you can find everything in the internet. Yeah, but therefore you must know what you are looking for.
Yeah,
Exactly
it's
what
true.
you are looking for.
Yes.
And otherwise, you will get so much results that you can't even find the forest with all the trees. Yeah.
Da. Super.
Now that's perfect with you, really.
Yeah. So actually, you would consider that kind of recommendation to everybody who are trying to have some goals in Istria. You would actually advise them to try to find a person.
Yeah. In my
Like
opinion,
this.
it's necessary that you have trust in the person you speak to. It's quite normal. If you go to Frisierski, you need to have the trust that he will cut the hair the way you want it. If
Yeah.
you go to the doctor, you
Yeah.
have the trust that he will help you. It's the same if you want to build up a company or open up an account or whatever. You must have the trust that those people you talk to don't do any harm to you, that they will help you. Yeah. And for us, for Susan and me, it was biggest luck to come to Kotiga family and to meet
Yes.
you, because yeah, you really did all this stuff in the way we want to have it.
Yeah.
And really reliable. Great.
But what if, for example, in your case, when you told me that this girl from the coast which you first met
Yeah.
didn't, so with her you didn't felt trust from the beginning, therefore you tried to find a second solution.
It wasn't a matter of trust. I didn't expect it that she was keeping something behind or wasn't open enough. It was for me. It was not personal. I felt so. I don't felt comfortable.
Energy wasn't.
It was a matter of a chemical process.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
like reading a book.
Yes.
It's something different if I read a story or if I talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was before it, but I wasn't in,
Yeah.
and
I
and
understand.
don't know how to explain better. No, it was really not the chemical way.
After 10 years now, after your case, which was first, and then everything rolled out by itself, like recommendation by recommendation. I managed to help many people now, and it really feels nice when I can see you, that you are coming now at your property without even announcing to me. Now we are like, okay, we are coming. We're used to it. Like you come at least
Something
3 to 4
we didn't
times.
spoke until now, but so funny that I knew when I come to my ground. switch on the lights that you are able to see it from your spot.
Yeah, from my kitchen, I see your house, and then I always keep an eye on it. Like, okay, who's there? Who opened
Latest
like
in
the
the evening, when the lights are on, you see, oh, somebody's there.
yeah, and then I'm like, okay, I need to go there and check it. It's like what couple
It's
minutes
so
drive
funny.
to there, and then I either tell my husband or me like, go and check who is there. Somebody
Yeah,
came, and
when we met here, nobody expected that things would go that way.
yeah, it's
And that's something where you really have your profession, yeah. All that path we walked together, you kept all possibilities open for us. It was not only small focus, but wide focus. That's
yeah.
something really, really good from your side.
Anyway, okay, thank you very much. Yeah, you don't have a vacation home for rental. This is just your property, so I will
Yeah,
not put any link down. Usually I did for some other people who I had this success story. But
yeah.
of course, yeah, thank you very much for sharing the story and your experience with working with me. And I hope everybody will find somebody, maybe not me, but somebody else who can be in the one corner of Croatia when they can help them out to bring their goals into reality
Yeah,
in much easier way.
for us, you have always been friend in first time, and later you become business partner
Yeah,
or procurista or whatever. So I think it's a little bit different from the way of starting it. But
yeah,
for us, it's the best way, the way ever. Yeah,
yeah. Usually, well, with all my clients now, I am actually after we started to work together, but now we are even friends and hugging each other when we see each
yeah.
other, speaking even about
The
the family
private.
problems which we have or something like this if we have the kids the same age or some other things.
Uh,
So it's yeah, it really I can tell that I really become a part of their life story, and they are also part of my life story, which
yeah,
is
and that, in my opinion, is something which gives you self lot confidence and yeah, it's part of success. It felt
yes,
good to be close together,
and motivates you to be even
to
better
get
in what
more
you're
of that.
yes, yes.
Yeah,
So,
great.
and thank you very
Okay,
much. Enjoy
see
your
you soon.
time and see you soon. Yes,
Probably in May, I hope.
super. Okay.
Okay, see you. Bye bye. Ciao.